right, Chad, let's do a brief audio and visual check. How's everybody doing? How's the mic? How's everything? How's your Tuesday night into some volatility, it looks like? Think gold's going to shoot to the moon? I don't know. Take a Trade says, I feel sorry for Dakota. Why do you feel sorry for me? Answer me that. Perfect. All right, well, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. I'm Coach Dakota. As always, in the YouTube chat, there's a top step risk disclosure. It's an educational. This is education. This is for education only. It's not a signals class, not financial advice. Now, yeah, let's do it. I've been practicing today, and I'm going to continue to practice probably for the rest of the week this scalping strategy. Thursday and Friday we have data coming out, but we shall see. Take a trade. You're not very observant. It's actually quite the opposite, brother. But it's okay. You can have your own opinion. Education is a stretch. Entertainment more likely. I don't know. I think I can make an argument for education. I get messages all the time, and there's a lot of great traders who have reached out and have enjoyed slow markets. You know what today is, though? You know what today is? Today is Technical Tuesday. We're going to go through some technicals tonight. Enjoy it. I personally, there you go. 6. Learn from you. Let's get to it. Daily chart, NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the data coming from this. So tomorrow, which is June 11th, Wednesday, we have core CPI. It's going to be moving the markets, obviously provide some volatility. And then again, Thursday, we're going to have US PPI, so more volatility, more inflation data. Friday's a little bit more calm, but you can see we are getting movements tonight. There's volatility in this market. Here's the daily chart. You can see where we're continuing to make higher lows and higher highs, right? We're kind of wedging. Maybe we're looking for a breakout in either direction. Maybe we get that with the inflation data. We're inching closer and closer. Tonight, looks like we hit 22,000. And we continue to get closer, all-time highs. Let's see. We came within less than 3% from all-time highs. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. Hourly chart, we are starting to look a little bit bearish, so I don't mind a pullback. Maybe we get a pullback to a level of support. You can see that there's been a lot of, buying, a lot of wicks, a lot of every single time we do get a little bit of a sell-off, there's buyers stepping in, higher lows, and yeah, this market has been very bullish. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a pullback. Maybe we get, 870s. We do have that inflation data coming out tomorrow. You can see we hit that nice key level, that 22,000, big round number. Immediately rejected it, though. Let's zoom into the 5-minute chart, and I'm going to jump over to gold. I'm going to try this. I'm going to test this strategy out on gold tonight. See if we could work some nice little scalps in the gold. So here's the 5-minute chart. You can see where during this was basically the New York session where we went up. We hit these 21,090s, and then we chopped throughout most of the day, and then after hours, this happened after hours. Like, look at this volatility, everybody. Nice big candlestick up, slammed it straight down, and then right back up, hit 22,000, and now we rejected. Is this a nice stop run, hit 22,000? Are we going to break below these 900s, these lower 900s? Can we see a little bit of a sell-off, a little bit of a pullback tonight during the London session? Can we see that? I wouldn't be surprised. You could see it's been buy the dip mode. Buy the dip. Don't sell it. Don't try and look for that continuation. I mean, at least that's what we've been seeing. I mean, look at last night. Look at last night's price action, right? Meme coin, nice little pump, slowly going down, and then we just dumped it. So that was interesting to see happen last night. So are we going to see more volatility tonight? Maybe the Trump-China trade talks, headlines coming in, coming out. Look at all that volatility that we're seeing. So you're going to look for more of a see profit, take profit scalps this week. Dakota, you don't see it going to 750s? From the downside, maybe I would. We have CPI data. We have inflation data coming out tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a pullback. I don't know if I could say we're going to get a pullback all the way to 750 before CPI. Anything can happen, though. I would expect a little bit of a pullback. Maybe we get, is this a little pullback that we're seeing tonight? After we hit 22,000, we're already, pulled back 75 points. And this is slow markets. So, I told myself I'm not going to be buying it. This is tempting to short for scalps. And so let's take a look. I think there might even be a little bit of does that not look tempting to short it, chat? I've been typically getting in with stop orders, like a stealth stop. Get in 2 of them. Let's see if we can have a nice little sell-off right here. I'm in a short. No more buy the dip. No more buy the dip. All right, there we go. That's triggered in. Gonna have a stop loss. Where was get that? I need to get this back to points. I don't know why this changes up on me. Changes up on me every once in a while. All right, let's see if we get a push. Did we get touch? We didn't hit session lows. Session lows is, look, you can go through here and the session low is 916.5. 916.5 right there. So let's see what we could do here. Let's see if we get a nice little scalp to the downside. I'm going to manage this manually. I've been trying to manage these trades manually. It's just like, okay, here's a hard stop loss. I like to put it at some type of pivot, some type of support and resistance. Maybe we have it at 936s, and then I'll just close it out manually if I'm not getting the move I want. Usually risking no more than $1,000, $500 to $1,000 per trade. And then, I was going to bring it up. So I'm a little bit used to this, everybody. I'm a little used to the ATR, but this is kind of an ATR, just, hey, what's your target? What's your take profit? And it's these little scalps. So let's go to this. We're seeing some volatility tonight, though. We're seeing some volatility tonight. Let's take a look at an ATR on a 5-minute. So about 16 points for a runner. Not as big as the New York session. You can see over here on the left-hand side. So a runner, about 16 points. For maybe a scalp, maybe about 7 points. This is a 100 tick chart, and we're seeing some volatility. Sometimes I like to switch to a minute chart during the Asian session, and it's a little more realistic. Usually around 5 points is what I go for on a quick scalp, and then leaving a runner, whether that's getting into one contract. It's hard to leave a runner on one contract. You just all in, all out. But 2 or more, take some profit on some of the contracts, and then leaving a runner, and then just kind of like trailing the stop if we could get continuation, right? So already 2 points. Already 2 points. Let's see if we could get maybe 6 or 7 on this, if we could break down below this level of support. Or is this just a buying opportunity, chat? Is this a buying opportunity? The level of support, right? Support. Is this a buying opportunity where we look for the market to push up? Is that what this is? And then I'll switch over to gold because I want to see if this is going to be. I want to test this. I want to test this all week. I want to test this NASDAQ, gold. You can see my statistics from the New York session. This is the New York session just today. This only has 1 day worth of data. So 1 day, $1,100, and not too bad. Not too bad with 1 day's worth of data. 50-50. Trade direction was 50-50. I mean, look, average trade duration, just 2 minutes. That's very, very fast for me. Like 2 minutes is extremely quick on my end. And this is kind of what gets me. When I do this, it's an upside down risk reward, usually, a lot of the time. Look at the average win versus average loss. And it's a higher trade win percentage, right? Average trade win percentage. 81% winners, but less than 50% for the risk reward. But most important, profit factor. You can't have one without the other. Obviously, if your trade winning percentage is high, it's okay to have a little bit of a upside down risk reward. But typically, you want the risk reward to be as high as you can make it, and the win. I mean, both these will fluctuate, right? Both of them will fluctuate. And now we watch, we wait, and then I'll switch over to gold, and we'll see how that is. Can you explain ATR? So ATR is, for me, the way I view it, is a average true range. I mean, that's what it is. It's a volatility gauge on what the current market conditions are. You can see, for example, it says ATR 14. This takes into consideration the past 14 candles, right? So it doesn't matter what time frame you're on or a tick chart. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, count 14 candles. And it says the average range on those 14 candles right now is about just under 8 points. Does that make sense? So right now my stop loss right here is 2 ATR. And then over here on the 5-minute chart, at the average true range on these 5-minute candles is going to be 17 points. 17 points. So that means every candlestick you can expect to be on average, right? There's going to be some more, there's going to be some less. On average, about 17 points. So this, whenever I start to scalp, I got really used to the NASDAQ, knowing that the average true range on a 100 tick chart during the New York session is usually about 5 points. And then the average true range during the slow market session, I mean, we're seeing some crazy volatility tonight, but about 5 points. And so I don't really need the ATR up because I've been trading for quite a while. It averages about 5 points depending on how volatile it is. But the 5-minute chart, yeah, I think that's more important for me to have the ATR just to really get a good gauge on how volatile this market is. And a good example is if we zoom out, you can see that sometimes the ATR could get as high as 40 points. 40 points in a 5-minute, in a 5-minute candlestick. And so that's where I could be okay with having a wider stop loss or a wider take profit, right? Being okay with taking, I don't want to say more risk, but having wider stops and take profits, because that's what this market condition is calling for. Compared to where we're at right now, this market condition that we're in is calling for about 16 points if I have my stop loss based off this particular chart, which that's where we're at. 16.23, 16.5 for my stop loss. And then I like to make sure that I'm putting my stop loss at, a decent level. So right now we just made this pivot. We just made this pivot here on the 100 tick chart. So I'm going to move my stop loss there. It doesn't make sense because if we do break through this pivot, then I could see it breaking out a little further. So even though the ATR on the 5-minute says 16, I'm okay with having a little bit tighter or a little bit more of a loose stop loss depending on where this support and resistance is on that zoomed in view. Does that make sense? Technicals, chat. Technicals. Robert says, where are you short? I mean, you can read this, right? It says I'm short 2 NASDAQ from 919 3/4. I use ATR to determine my take profit 1, take profit 2, and my stop loss. Yeah, it's a great tool. It's a great tool for new traders, for traders who, I mean, it doesn't really matter your experience level. It's a good way to gauge volatility. I like it. I don't use it to get me into trades, but I use it a little bit for trade management, obviously. Once I get done with this trade, I'll switch over to gold. Right at the top of the hour, I typically see a spike in gold, and we'll see if we could get some nice scalps on the gold trade. So I'm going to just move that down there. I'm going to keep it up because it's good to answer questions. And we'll see. I've been honest since day one, always. I've been struggling in my live account. So you're going to see me practice. And when I practice, I do it in combines. I do it in a practice account. It's like practice. I've done this many times. I'd rather sit here in a practice account practicing than just struggling in my live, continuing to lose money. And then adjusting to different market conditions. If the market conditions we see is like, okay, this is requiring a more shorter term scalping, looking for smaller, base hits, then I have to take it. We have to take what the market give me. That's it. Trying to become a better trader, always. So let's see if we get a little bit of a breakdown here. Dakota, what would be an overnight trade? An overnight trade is going to be a trade where I put on and I leave it overnight. So Central Standard Time here in Chicago, where Topstep is located, overnight for me is from now until I wake up, which is around the New York session. And if there's data, make sure you wake up before the data comes out so you could either manage that trade or close it out. Been saved live for the A+ situations. Yeah, you could say that. And there's even an argument to be made where while you're battling that boredom, right, which is what it is, you might not notice, but you're sitting here, you're waiting for a trade. Instead of trying to force a trade, which I'm guilty of all the time, especially when I'm on air trying to force a trade for traders, is you get into bad situations. And this is going to be great for me to just, hey, let's practice scalping. Then if a better, more opportunistic, maybe a higher risk reward, higher probable trade sets up, you can switch it to a live account and be like, all right, this is it. As I've been practicing scalping, waiting for a setup, we got a better setup. Let's take it. Pete says paper trading right now. Gold looks like a short. We'll switch over to gold. I want to see this trade play out. Things are starting to slow down a little bit from what it was. It was pretty insane on some of those moves. Angie, if you have a live account, you can have a practice account. This is kind of a coach's combine that I could trade as a coach for, and I don't get funded for this. I can't get an XFA. This is as good as a practice account. So that way when I'm, having a class, when I'm on air and I'm practicing, I use it for that. No shorting for gold for me right now, Coach Hoop. No, I don't know. We are pushing lows. NASDAQ is down 0.2%. We have inflation data coming out tomorrow. So we'll see. I'm going to switch over to gold after this trade is played out. I'll continue to trail this with my stop loss. And yeah. Brandon, will I be taking part in the protests? No. Dakota, how did your overnight trade go last night? Remind me, please. Did I have an overnight trade last night? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. You like the? You're welcome, Doom. Doom Lord, are you going to be to the Chicago trade meetup? Are you coming to the Chicago trade meetup? This thing right there. We're gonna next week. It's coming faster than we know it. Talked about it last night. Talked about it yesterday. Who's coming? Who will be showing up to the Chicago meetup? I'm going to be there. Jay's going to be there. Baron's going to be there. Hoag team members are going to be there. It's the first of it. It's the first of its kind. It's very rare for me. So, first time I've ever been in a trader meetup after being on air. Vico says I'm going to be there. Sony's I'm coming to Chicago. Same coach. Doom's going to be there. Let me see if I can get that link. There's signups for it, so that it's like getting a head count, right? So the team has an idea of how many people are going to be showing up. Will I wear a tuxedo? No, I'm not going to wear a tuxedo, but I'm probably going to go get some new clothes. Look nice, right? A soccer match. Coach Jay and I is going to play a basketball. We're going to go maybe 1-on-1 or 2v2 or something in basketball, which is going to be fun. Coach Jay's probably going to kick my butt in basketball. All right, we're getting a little bit of a push. I wasn't watching it, or else I would have closed out of one right there for a nice little scalp. Vovo, that's not racist. He's a basketball coach. Coach Jay is a basketball coach. He plays basketball much more frequently than I do. Look at those opinions being jumped to. People. Chat. Let's see, what was we up? We were up 7. I missed the take profit right there. Dang it. That would have been one take profit hit. Ugh. Let me see. I'm checking something. I should have just set that take profit there, huh? Have that. It was right there. 7.5 points is the ATR, and we went 7.5 points. Successful for one take profit, but then my stop loss would still be the same. So I'm going to take a note on that. I'm gonna get the link. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat for the RSVP. So just give me a moment. And then don't forget. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Coach Hoop. Coach Hoop coming in clutch. I need to save that. Make sure. There it is. Last time I clicked on the link from Coach Hoop, it did not end well. There it is. RSVP. Come in. Gives you the details. Sign up. And I am going to save it here. This trade slowly. Did we hit new sessions lows? We got new session lows, right? We ticked it. We got to 9.11.5, and buyers just bumped in there. And let's get some music on. You'll bring the Coca-Cola. Is the trade still valid? Yeah, trade's still valid. I should be out of. Right now, this trade is still valid. However, I should have taken been able to take one take profit for this, so for 7.5. So trade's still valid, but I should have already had 7 points locked up. I missed it looking for that link. That's okay. I'll do it. Let's lock in. Let's do a buy limit. Let's lock in a little bit of take profit right there. And then we'll let one runner go. Hop, what's the target for this? 1 ATR right now, so 7. 7. I usually like to get out using join bid. So like if we do start to sell off, I could get out at join bid, because sometimes the sell off, the momentum could be great, and instead of taking 7, I could get like 12 or 13 points. And that's what you meant, alpha options. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. I've only been drinking water for months now. Boring water. Okay, let's see if we can get out of one. Let's see if we can get out of one. A little bit of a, let's get some momentum through the session lows. We're at 5 points. 7. Okay, one push lower, I'll get out of this. Is it gonna give it? We made a new session low right there. It's gotta, we gotta get more than just one tick. One tick lower than a session low. Come on, market. No, Vovo. No. I've drank. I've had tea. I've had some tea. Some chamomile tea. And an energy drink. Then I go straight to an extreme, right? Energy drink. 0 sugar energy drink. A bucked up. That's the bad drink I've been having. Yeah, I know. No, I don't drink Bang. Nope. It'd be a bucked up. A bucked up, which, you know, 0. I know it's bad. It's very acidic, so it's not good for my teeth. But sometimes you need a little bit of a pick-me-up. Come on, let's get some follow through below 9. Below this, we gotta have some follow through, right? Let's move my stop loss. Look, there's another pivot right there, so that gives me a valid reason to move my stop loss. So now we're risking only 7 points. Top of the hour in 10. Yeah, 10 seconds. Yeah, I'm making a note of this though, okay, chat? Because we got the 1 ATR for take profit. So I'm wondering, am I being greedy looking for a breakdown to take my first take profit? Or if this will play out. So I'm going to take a note to see if this is just too greed looking for a breakdown, some continuation, or I should have just took that 7 points for the first contract. And then this would technically be a break-even trade. And I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to look back at this trade and say, I think I Lenny'd it, right? Where I would have had one contract take profit at 7 points, and then it stopped me out, and this is a break-even trade. Like, if this does run this stop, then a break-even trade just turned into a... what, $200 loss. If you're asking, the answer is yes. Love that. Yeah, bounce from the other big wick. Yeah, basically, we literally just barely ticked lower, and then we just one tick, basically. Half a tick from the break of the low right there. One tick, just nothing. And my finger was on the close button for one contract. But we'll see. This trade's not over yet. If we do go back down, then this will give me another reason to tighten up the stop loss a little bit more. Lido, can we start having more guests? Ooh, definitely. Definitely. Jay, Baron, I had yeah, last week. I think it was last week, right? Last week we had Gabe. Looking to get Hoop, looking to get Coach Hoop on, and then seeing about expanding to viewers. I know I talked about it for a little bit, so. Doomlord, I'm super excited to meet Hoag for real. I know. I know. It's gonna be excited. You've been on with me, Trades, on the New York session, right? During the day show. You've been in slow markets quite often, so yeah, definitely I would. Yes. It's a little extra work on my end through OBS, but that's fine. I don't mind a little extra work to have another person on. Maybe I know Mondays for Jay, Wednesdays for Jay, Thursdays with Baron, Sundays and Tuesdays it's just me. Hey Dakota, following you in the New York session every day. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. The mistake was not calculating the cost of the trade, but in the end, nobody knows. What do you mean, not calculating the cost of the trade? It was based off the ATR at the time. I trade Sunday Globex. Switch over to gold. I know, this trade's taking forever, right? We'll switch over to gold. Don't want to miss the thing here. Okay, if we do push back down, then I'm gonna limit my risk to that pivot. This pivot that we just made. This is slow markets, chat. 1 point here, 1 point there, 1 point here. DBA concepts versus ITC concepts. All right, let's limit that risk. We'll risk. Now we're down to 5 points worth of risk. Arthur. Yeah, so I addressed it earlier. I'm practicing. I could do it in my practice account, sure, but I'm doing a combine, keeping track of the stats. These are basically the same. It's a coach's account, coach's combine. All right, well, we're pushing back down to the lows. Let's see if we could get. Are we gonna get follow through, or are these 13s and 12s gonna just hold? They're holding. I need to take 100 trades per session. I don't think I could take 100 trades per session, even if I tried. That's hard. That's a lot of work. A lot of mental capital to take that many trades. All right, back down. Okay, let's see if we get some follow through. I'm not looking for a tick. I'm not looking for very much. This is a scalp. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Let's see. Let's get it. Get it. Any follow through? Are we bouncing? All right, there's that one. 10 3/4. And then we're going to let this runner go for one ATR, which is 15 half. 15 half. I think it was 16 at the time. 16 at the time. So risk-free trade now. green no matter what. Risking 5 points. My take profits based on the ATR, chat. If that's how I said this, the first one based off the smaller ATR, then the second one is a runner based off a higher, like this 5-minute ATR. Not much follow through. Not much follow through. All right, well, I'm gonna let this trade play out. Let's take a look at gold. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, $1.50 ATR on a 100 tick. I think a 1 minute is going to be more accurate for gold, to be honest. It's still 1.2. And, wow, I'm actually, that's surprising. Hop over to gold, and I'm already liking a setup. I'm liking this setup, this long setup here on gold. So wait, let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and enter a buy stop. I'm getting in with stop orders. We'll look for $2.75, 270, 270. I'm gonna adjust that buy stop now. We just made that pivot, 53.7. So, okay, liking that setup. Liking the setup quite a bit. Only want to be getting triggered in as the market goes in my favor. Is there heck, there's even a decent trade to the short side now if we do break down. That's $1.07. That's $1.07. How's that NASDAQ trade? What are we doing in the NASDAQ? Make a new pivot. Go ahead. Lock in that profit some more. This is purely a combine. I'm demonstrating it, testing it out. Probably when I switch it to my live, I'll test it with the same size, and then I'll increase it. All right, gold. Let's see if we get triggered in. Right at this pivot. Right at this pivot at 53.7. Get in with this momentum. Nice, decent trend. All right, triggered in. A little bit of slippage. See that slippage? Risking 2 ATR. It's about 1 ATR. Let's see if we can tighten it up too as we get through that. So the first one's going to be $1.03. $1.03, so 55.3 as a first take profit. And then we'll leave a runner on. We'll see how it works for gold. Ooh, there's a nice. Oh, there's first take profit already hit. Nice. Now we got one runner, ATR 2.7. So that one runner is just right there. But I'm gonna leave that runner on. I'm gonna trail it. I'm gonna get out of that one manually. So let's see if we can get a move manually, a way to trail this. Limit that risk. Let's go test those highs. Like I said, testing, managing, seeing how this works out, seeing how it plays out, seeing how these statistics are going to be handling in this type of market environment. Let's make a run over at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ still chopping around. That's in the money. I could just let that one cook. If I was to start over, yeah, this is the same way. This is how I'm going to be trading my live account. I'm testing it out, making sure I'm managing everything correct, using the platform correctly, and then probably by either the end of the week or early next week, I'm going to be transitioning this strategy into my live account. Yeah, that first take profit is kind of like that, right? You're paying yourself, limiting the risk, and then letting a runner go. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Just see money, take money. NASDAQ pushing back down. I can see it hit that ATR now. Still let that one play out. Gold, let's see if this gives us an opportunity to limit risk. If this starts to hold, and if we do start to find buyers back in, it'll give me an opportunity to move my stop loss. This is old school. I dusted this off. Like, this had probably like an inch worth of dust on it when this is like years ago. It feels like forever since I've traded like this. Maybe last year. Last year. Okay, not years. It feels like it, but last year. Do I use ATR for stops? I use it as a reference point, right? But ultimately, the stop is based off of this, right? It's like, okay, ATR 2.7. Is there a pivot around that ATR? I'm like, yes, there's one right here. So I'm okay with adding it to, like, instead of 2.7, be okay with 3.2 or 3, because there's that pivot. So we are making that pivot right now. Another one at, 354. And if we do start to break above these 55s again, I'll move my stop loss. Let's take a quick brief check on gold or NASDAQ. Oh, NASDAQ. Pay me that money. What? A tick. A tick. What the heck, NASDAQ? You gotta do me like that. All right. See, can we move the stop loss? No. Stop loss still in the good spot. Switching over to gold. And let's see if we get a breakout, continuation higher. I like that we're consolidating here. This gives that a great reference point for a stop loss, and that happens to be just where my entry is. So that's basically moving my stop loss to break even, but doing it for a reason, right? Not just because of break even, my entry point, but because there's actually some support there. ATR, average true range. Right. Did gold close? Did NASDAQ hit yet? NASDAQ? Oh, is it gonna? It's really gonna hit to a tick, and then bounce up there. I don't know. Okay, gold. Let's see if we get a continuation up through 55s, maybe 56. The session high is 56.4. Session high 56.4. Break through that, I think we could see some nice momentum. I'll be demoing, I'll be going over this strategy all week, chat. Slow markets, fast markets, testing it out. I don't know about slow markets so much just because it's so slow. Maybe some overnight trades for slow markets, but especially during fast markets. I'll be demonstrating this a lot more, and then keeping track of the statistics. Like I said, showing everything in front of you. How I test strategies, practice. Do you know what? Have I ever heard of this? Asian traders use a 2-minute chart. I've never heard of that one. Dakota, why did you stop using this strategy? Because I started to find more success on holding traders longer, using, especially during slower markets or more volatile times and more predictable markets. and I kind of went the route of having a higher risk reward rather than what you're seeing here, right? When you go to these statistics, I like to have a higher risk reward and a lower trade percentage. This is basically the opposite, right? Okay, NASDAQ got filled. So was that a fill in the green or was it a fill in the red? Oh, okay, great. NASDAQ got filled. So take profit, hit, success. Nice little successful trade there on the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at gold. And yeah, let's see if we can make that pivot. All right, we're going up there. I think that's going to be valid enough to move my stop loss up to 50, just below this one. This is basically what I was wanting to see. The ATR is 2.6. 2.6. So I'm going to be, I like that. So basically risk freed, already money, already profit. I took one trade off at like, what was it? 1.2. I mean, basically right in this area. And so in the money on this trade. So if we do get a nice breakout, leave that runner on and see if we could get a take profit at 2.7, which is not too far from here. And we know how gold can move. Azugera asking the question again. Like I said, I've been struggling in my live account. It's very obvious. It's shown every day. And I am testing out the scalping, debuting it, talking about it, and I'm getting ready to move this type of trading into my live account. So here we are. Gold's pushing through. New session high. Almost to the second take profit. We're at 2.3. Like I said, ATR is 2.7. I'm going to see if we could get any continuation. We're at 2.9. So we're already past the second take profit. And so let's see if we could get to continuation. I don't mind trailing it. That's the point of a runner. My finger's on the button. We're at 2.7. We're already at 3. Let's see if we get that runner. Any follow through, new session highs. If not, if I see the market slowing down a little bit, I'll just close it out for that profit. Let's see. Any follow through? This is what I'm testing. This is the bigger key point on this strategy is when do I take profit for the second? Okay. This is what my biggest flaw is in this risk or in the risk reward and the probability and have it like this. What you're seeing right now is where I have the biggest struggle when scalping is I want to leave a runner on, right? Because if this market just goes, I want to take advantage of that. But if you see something like this, where we come up, we hit that second take profit, and then we reverse, that screws up some of the statistics where it's like, oh man, if I would have just had my take profit where the ATR said, which is 2.6, 2.7, basically right now, I close it out, take profit, hit, money, winning trade. That's great. But then I love having runners, chat. I love to have just a nice move, increase that risk reward compared to where it is in this number one strategy. So I'm testing that out. That's what I'm testing. This is very important for me. Testing, making that decision, how gold reacts, obviously breaking new session highs, this nice little breakout strategy. Flint, leaving a runner is not scalping. It is when you take your first take profit at a very small, right? It's like, it's a scalp with a runner. And so as of right now, taking that second take profit based on that ATR, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. That's the point of testing. Testing. I'm always finding ways to improve and adjust and fine tune. 3 contracts, leave. Yeah, that could very well be one of them, right? 3 contracts to where I could have, take profit 1, take profit 2, and then leave a runner. That's also very valid. we're making a nice level of support right there at basically 56.4. 56.4, which is, what is that? What's 56.4? It's basically 2.3 when the ATR is like 2.6, 2.7. We're gonna see. Any hashtag slow markets tonight? Any hashtag slow markets? Let's see. I always gotta ask. You guys never remember. You never do it, chat. Why don't I ever see hashtag slow markets? Tell me. Flint says that's called intra swing trading, not scalping. That's up to debate. I mean, look at the statistics so far, right? Average trade duration 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Is that a scalp or an intra swing? Is that what do you classify as a scalp? That's debatable, right? Some traders will say, yeah, anything less than an hour is a scalp. I even talk to some people and they say, man, if you close and if you close within a couple hours, that's a scalp. Well, what's a scalp? And then what's a swing? What's this? What's that? How do you want to classify it? And then does it really matter? Does it matter? Is it the same bar on the 5 minute? Is it the same bar on the 1 minute? Is it the same bar on the hourly? I've had conversations, and honestly, people don't really give a shit. Who cares? If you close and heck, I've even talked to some where they're like, oh, you're day trading, you're a scalper. I'm like, no, I'm not. I hold it overnight. And he's like, well, do you close it? You open and close that position during the same day? I'm like, yeah, I do. Well, you're a scalper. You're a day trader. I'm like, no. I place the trade in the futures market during the Asian session, and I let it run overnight, and I close it during the New York session. He's like, that's the same session. You know, it's all one candlestick on the daily. Swing trading is when you hold it, you know, throughout multiple days. And so I think there's a level of perspective. Oh, you know what we could do, chat? We can ask AI. What should we do it? Should we ask an AI? Should we ask the AI? We're gonna ask. What is considered a scalp when trading? Should we ask this? Yeah, I don't think it was going to give me a time frame. 5 to 10 pips, futures. Okay, what would be the... Let's see if we could do this. Under 5 minutes, high frequency scalpers, equity scalpers. Some of you could even classify scalpers, right? Is it high frequency scalpers, 10 to 30 seconds? Equity scalpers, stocks might hold position 1 to 5 minutes. All right, let's see. Is 20 minutes in a trade a scalp? And then does this stuff really even matter? Oh, look. A 20-minute trade is not considered a scalp. Under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes is a scalp. So according to Grok 3, it has to be under 5 minutes to be considered. While there's no strict cutoff, 20 minutes is on the longer side of a scalp for a scalp. It's like, no, it's not a scalp, but then it's basically stating it's a scalp right here on the longer end of the scalp. I don't know. Classify it as you wish. Okay, so here we go. We just made a pivot here on the gold. I'm going to go ahead and trail that. Just make money, baby. That's all we want. Your classification of the trade does not really matter to anybody else but yourself. Your average trade time is between 5 and 6 minutes. Where's Barton? Where's Barton? Who's Barton? If you could see it, chat, if you guys could see some of the comments that are hidden or deleted, oh, chat would be insane. Chat would be crazy. NQ selling. Let's see. Should we just have held that runner? Yeah, that runner short would have paid more. That's where maybe having 3 contracts rather than just 2. This doesn't matter. Micros, right? Maybe micros. I don't censor. But you don't need to cuss. There's no reasons to cuss. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can. So far, this was the correct decision, right? I was going to target 2.7, but I'm getting 4 points. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and lock up some more and basically let this baby run. Intraday swing. What did you say, Flint? Intraday swinging. We're swingers here on the intraday time frame. All right, so I took profit basically. There we go. Done. Successful trade. We'll let this baby cook. Have upside down pineapple in the background? No. No. Snipe it, Dakota. We're taking this gold. Oh man. The puns I can make right now. Why did I move it there? It needs to be for a reason. It needs to be 56, 57. This is where my indecision comes. This is where my indecision is, right? Do I keep it there? Do I keep it there? Do I keep it here? I just, yeah. Close, success. We'll call it good. I'm going to watch this. Let's see. Let's see what would have been the better decision. Because that's the true pivot. That's the true pivot to trail. Let's look at the stats. This is kind of what you want to see though, right? The loss duration is only 2 minutes. Go through here. Holding winners longer. That's kind of what we want to see. It's a very small sample set. Very small sample set. 4 trades. Boom, 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 boom. Just $200, $300 for that runner. Look at that nice little runner. 320. And then I'm going to continue to test it by seeing how this runner would have went. Hey, look, we got our first slow markets from Sam Futures. Wait a little bit more for confirmation. Nice. Look at that. Look at that. Nice trade. Nice trade there, Sam Futures. Does that mean the NASDAQ is continuing to sell off? Yeah, nice. Ooh, bigger movements. Some volatility coming into the markets. Look at that. From 90 to, yeah, some, look, 10-point swings right there. Could we be bottoming out? I don't know. I'm going to continue to watch gold and monitor this decision right here. Because this is crucial. This is crucial for me. Making this decision. What was the right decision? What's going to be the process going forward? Is it going to be just taking profit? Maybe do I need to add that third contract? Maybe micros, trailing it to this pivot, or just moving the stop straight to where my second take profit would have been once we start to break out, or is somewhere in between. Maybe 2 ATR. Did we get to 2 ATR? Where the heck was the entry? The entry was 54. So the entry was 54 even. We got to 4.5, which is not 2 ATR. See a textbook fake move to the downside? I don't know. We just good trade on gold, good trade on the NASDAQ, up 827. Not too bad. I stopped so tight, what's the point? Yeah, I'm watching this because this is where I would have moved my stop loss before. So I think I made the right decision there. Do you see more upside on gold? No, that was the trade. I mean, sure, we could still go, but the trade setup was basically what we just saw, right? We get a little bit of a pullback and then a breakout. Looking for 1 ATR and then 2 ATR. Nice trade. And it looks like it would have just hit that stop anyway, so made that right decision. Missing my NQ sell? Shorts are paying. Yeah. Heck. Chat, the one night I don't short the NASDAQ, we sell off. I've been shorting all year. Yep, would have stopped me out. So, I think we got I think I got the most out of that. Got the most out of that. Happy. Now we're starting to just calm down. NASDAQ's picking up speed though. Shorts are much quicker. Yeah, because that's where the common phrase stair step up and elevator down. And you see how the ATR usually on the NASDAQ for me is 5 points. 5 points. Little 5-point bangers here and there. In case tonight it's a stair step down. Yeah, we kind of are stair stepping down, right? Just slowly. It depends on the time frame you're looking at, but yeah, just a grind down. Let's see, it's gold. Do we set up for a gold trade again to the long side? Solid music tonight. It is a slow night. Not much volatility. NASDAQ gonna push the lows again? I'm short an NQ again, going to set it and forget it. The crazy thing is, on the NASDAQ, you can see a nice 50-point bounce at a blink of an eye. So don't be too complacent, because we've been seeing that in this market, just randomly, boom, 50 points straight up. You never know. Tomorrow's a big day. Yep, we got inflation data coming out tomorrow. Inflation data. 218.70 is point of control. Robert, that's what you're looking for? 2.870. It's kind of where we chopped around for a lot of the day, huh? And we're right back down there. Is gold pushing up higher? Not really. Not too much going on. Kind of died down. We have died down for sure. I mean, look at gold, right? Died down. And back to slow markets. Back to the normal slow grind of the markets. CPI tomorrow, so I'm not going to have any overnight trades. NASDAQ pushing lower. Lower, even more. It's selling off. I said it during fast markets too. I'm like, watch. Once I become a bull and say, okay, we're looking for longs, or I adjust, NASDAQ is going to just sell off. Up 814 trading gold and NQ tonight. Yeah, right about where I'm at. Taking profits. Thanks, I'm done. Have a good night. Gee whiz. Anything else going on in the hashtag slow markets? No, it's been a nice calm night. Anything you want to talk about, chat? It's only a week away before the Chicago. Flying out to Chicago, meeting up with Jay and Barron. I have a lot to do this week. I have a lot to do. I've been taking some vitamin supplements before going. Brad Little, want to talk about classic muscle cars? What are we talking about here? Some 1969, 1970s Dodge Challengers and Chargers. I was looking to book a table at this nice club. You like house music, coach? House music. I mean, that's what we're kind of listening. We're listening to lo-fi. What would old Dakota be looking at for the downside? I don't know what old Dakota would be looking like for the downside. Old Dakota would be looking for 740s, 750s, 760s. The old Dakota. I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's much. I could be wrong. Data coming out tomorrow, so see money, take money kind of market is what we're in. See money, take money. Will you be doing slow markets in Chicago? I think we're going to continue to be talking about the markets. I'll confirm everything for you. I'll confirm everything. Like I said, stay tuned. It's only Tuesday. But it's a week away. I'll confirm. I am bringing my laptop. I am bringing all of my gear, and like laptop. Is that gear? Is that considered gear? My laptop, an extra dual screens, the dual screens, 2 screens, everything I need to stream if needed. So, but my main focus is going to be enjoying hanging out with Jay and Baron and the team. Jay, Baron, JD, Andre, Hoag, hanging out, doing those activities. It's going to be my main focus. We're going to talk about trading, obviously. What's the longest I took a break from trading? About a week. About a week. From the day trading, months. Day trading, months. Trading in general, a week. Fight, Baron. I don't know. I don't... Baron wants to box. Maybe we could... I could maybe light spar with him. We'll see. We'll see. Baron's 6'6". He's a tall dude. The last thing I want to happen is to one of us get a black eye at the first day. Right? Could you imagine that? Go to the Chicago experience and one of us get like a black eye or a bloody nose by screwing around. But we're gonna see. That's gonna be fun. Those who show up for that Chicago experience will probably find out before anybody else. You get anxiety when you go 3 days from trading? Take trades. Moses, you could be tall, you could be muscly, you could be heavy, you could be all sorts of things. It's like any professional athlete, right? Any skill. Weight's not a skill, height is not a skill, muscles is not a skill. Some things help, right? Market's holding above 900, 21,900 here. Yeah, gold. That was a nice little long scalp, probably right there for the gold. Just continuing with this trend, chopping up and to the right for gold. NASDAQ kind of not really doing much. You'd love to come, Randy H. Well, it's next week. It is coming up really fast. There might be more too. This one's definitely, you don't want to miss the first one though. You're not gonna want to miss the first one. When we're all there for the first time, the first. The ATR looks nice. Yeah, I'm going to demonstrate it, but then when it comes time for me actually trading, I'll probably take off this ATR and then maybe have this one like that. I might even just take this one off completely. I want to start trading futures and I want to learn your strategy. Well, I don't recommend learning my strategy and trading my strategy. What I would recommend, Adam, is you could tune into slow markets like tonight, fast markets during the day, join Topstep's Discord, and you can see how we trade the markets. But what I highly recommend is maybe you take some things that we do, and I say we, I mean just traders that you see, maybe traders from the big board, traders that found success, and then find a way to implement it yourself. Don't just say, I'm going to take your strategy and I'm going to just copy it, because that's the incorrect way of doing. It'll probably cause more frustration on your end when markets change or you have abnormal moves in the market. So I would definitely be advising to, I don't want to say figure it out yourself, but you could use something that I'm doing as a template, but then make it your own, right? Maybe something very simple and straightforward would be a good template to start and maybe test it out in a practice account, and then find a way to make it your own. Yeah, try and find a strategy that fits your personality. yeah, so you have like me, Coach Hoop, we have Anne Marie, there's Mohammed, there's Coach Jay, there's a bunch of other coaches. I think, yeah, maybe you find someone who trades in the style that you like, and then maybe watch how they trade and implement some of their type of trading style into what you want to build. Al Brooks, price action. Findy says, Dakota's profitable when he closes his trades. Yeah, I don't want to get into that conversation. Sometimes I fail to close my trades out. You're correct. That's why not looking for just these base hit scalping is straightforward and better in these market conditions for me. Basic scalping is my whole life at the moment. Coop. ATR saved you so many times. Anyone from Tampa area coming? You're flying out, right, Doom? I haven't seen the list of traders, but man, it's gonna be nice to see everybody. It's non-copyright music. I don't know what the site is. Epidemic Sound. Learn risk manage it. Learn to become the best loser. What's with the outro? What outro? We haven't hit the outro yet. I'm not gonna be playing bear pong with Hoag. But if you show up, you might see something interesting. Yeah, I can't give away everything. Come on. I'll tell you that. If you're there in person, you're probably going to see stuff before everybody else. It might get crazy. It might get crazy. Might throw on 50 contracts in the NASDAQ in the middle of the night. Me, Jay, and Baron. You can't go this time, unfortunately. Hop, at the very beginning of the slow markets class, I went over what I'm doing. I talked about it during fast markets. I'll talk about it tomorrow morning as well. Talk about it tomorrow night. Oh, I need Visa for a meeting. Okay. Yeah, look how slow these markets are now. Any headline will move this market. Probably 50 points in any direction. Is gold forming a 3-bar reversal? Gold is starting to sell off a little bit now. Pick up some momentum. I don't know. I like that one trade. Is gold going to hold this level of support? Maybe. But I'd want to see consolidation first and get in using a stop order. Let's see, I'm missing something. What's going on? Video game song music, just lo-fi. Urban, what did I miss? Urban, I do trade a live account. Yep, but this week I'm testing a scalping strategy in a combine. And if I get good results, like if these results continue, I will trade it in my live account. But look, trade direction, 50-50. and so far so good. I mean, my losses are $500, right, for the 2 contracts. I tried it once with a 5 minis for 5 points. Just quick 5 minis, 5 points. That was a big loss. Tried it with 3 contracts. But out of that, if I take out those 3 contracts, that would, instead of minus 700, that would probably be minus 400 or something. And little tiny tweaks, right? With anything, it's little tweaks, little adjustments. Like, okay, my losses are going to be about $500 in the NASDAQ. So if my losses are about 500 and my win percentage is going to be, relatively high on the high end, as long as these losses do not get too crazy, I don't imagine them being more than 500. Maybe I bump them up to $700 with the losses, and then obviously the winners are going to be increasing as well. And yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. We're going to see how it turns out, and yeah, you guys are going to get to experience and see everything, right? Everything I'm going to do is going to be in front of everybody, chat. So you get to see the test, and then you're going to see me switch to live, and then maybe see me execute it in live. Look at gold selling off now. What's NQ doing? Is NQ bouncing? Is NQ bouncing? No, NQ's doing nothing. But gold's moving. Gold is moving. All right. Okay, so what do we see in gold? Is there an opportunity? Not sure. That's a good show. Yeah, I want to show everybody that I go through crap like everybody else. I struggle at this sometimes. This is day trading. Day trading is freaking hard. If you cannot manage risk or adjust or deal with your psychological aspect of trading, and everybody, I'm not joking, everybody goes through the downs, the ups, the downs, the losses. If you see somebody that's not taking losses, then they're just full of crap or they're hiding it. That's a fact. I will stake my name on that if there's somebody out there that just does not take losses, then they're either God's gift of trading or they're most likely full of just BS. And so you as a trader realistically needs to understand that you will, just like these markets, you'll have your ups and downs, and what you need to do is just manage your risk, make sure that you're not just blowing your accounts, make sure you have a daily loss limit, you're taking your losses, you're not blowing your account when you are taking losses. And then when you are struggling, there's definitely going to be times where you will need to take a step back, switch to a simulated environment, practice, maybe gain your confidence back, and then just get back at it. Like, it happens. I've went through this maybe 3 times over the past year and a half. 3 times, maybe 4. I don't know. Maybe 3 or 4 times I've had to do this. I've had to step back, say, man, my trading's been complete trash. Let me step back. Let me switch to a simulated account. Let me test out a strategy based off these market conditions, and let's see how it works. And then I'll switch back to my live account and yeah, go from there. Been watching the stream every day since February. Nice, Tristan. Why didn't I take another trade? I mean, we're not seeing these markets move. Gold, I'm actually looking to take a long here. What's your view on why you can't trade micros equals minis like the XFA combines on a live account? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I do not have any restrictions in the live account. Not getting trapped again. Yeah, we'll see. Gold's continuing to sell off. Right here. And we only have 3 minutes left. So far, so good, right? Day number 2, testing out this in the combine, and I don't care about this. I don't really care about this right now. The profit factor is what matters the most. It feels a little awkward right now, having an upside down risk reward, but that's okay. This is what I want to try and improve on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep an 85% win rate. I doubt that. I think what's going to happen is this needs to get back down towards 70%. This will need to get closer to 60.6. That's what I believe is going to happen based off my experience. Is winning trade percentage to me needs to be at 70% plus or minus a little bit. And then my average win, average loss needs to get up there. It needs to almost, dare I say, double. I don't like having this upside down, but we'll see. Like I said, day number 2, not too bad. 20 trades in 2 days. Obviously, that's on the high end. You can tell it's a scalping strategy. 50-50. Longest trade is an hour. Was that tonight? This was today during the New York session. This was tonight during slow markets, and then we'll see how it performs in the New York session tomorrow. So good stuff. Good stuff. What do you like? Did you learn anything? Is this classified as education to you? I don't know. It's not a signals class. Hopefully you learned something, right? Like, that's the goal. So, all right. I'll catch everybody bright and early tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. So take care, everybody, and I shall see you then.